How you doing, Algebra? We're going to do something a little bit different today. Change things up for Friday. First Friday of our e-learning. Hope you made it okay. We're going to work on the final few problems, numbers 11, 12, and 13 on your review packet of the polynomials test. But what we're going to do is a little bit changed up. I'm not going to give you like examples of the problems. I'm going to do the actual problems. But what I want you to do is pause the video and we will go over the problems afterwards while you've worked it out. The first one we're going to do is number 11. Number 11 says if the perimeter of a garden is 12x to the third plus 6x to the second minus 24, and the width is 2x to the third minus 2x to the second plus 4, what is the length? Okay, pause the video. I'll work on it when you come back. Okay, welcome back. First thing that you've got to know is that you're talking about the perimeter of a garden. Let's just assume it's a rectangular garden. I don't think it says that it's rectangular. It just says that this is the perimeter. It tells you that the whole perimeter is equal to 12x to the third plus 6x to the second and minus 24. They'd say that the width is 2x to the third minus 2x to the second plus 4. Well, if they tell us that this is 2x to the third minus 2x to the second plus 4, that means the top has got to be the exact same value. So these are both 2x to the third minus 2x to the second plus 4. Both of them are. Okay? Well, that shouldn't be too difficult to figure out. If we know that these two are 2x, just combine them. That makes 4x to the third minus 4x to the second plus 8. We know that these two remaining are there. Okay? So when we do this problem, we know that this are the two lengths. These are the two lengths added together. So combined, they are 4x to the third minus 4x squared plus 8. What's our next step? Subtract it from our perimeter. Okay, so if we take 12x to the third minus 4x to the third, that makes 8x to the third as a remainder. We take 6x to the second minus 4x to the second, that makes a positive 2x to the second. And we take negative 24 and a positive 8, that should make a negative 16. Okay, so if we get that to be negative 16 combined here, that means all we have to do is find out what we would add together to make 8, 2, and 16, and that's going to be both sides here. Just divide this sucker by 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4x to the third. 2 divided by 2 is a positive 1x squared, and negative 16 divided by 2 is a negative 8. That means both of these sides are 4x to the third plus 1x to the second minus 8. Okay? That's how that one works. Pretty simple. You've been given this. You know those are both the perimeter. It works out nice. Now, really quickly, let's go to number 12. Number 12 is the drawing of that square figure, and they lop off a part of it. They cut a chunk of it out. Okay? They say the drawing at the right is a square with a smaller square cut out of it. Write a polynomial that represents the area of the shaded region in simplest form. Okay? Once you see it, you're going to be like, oh, that's not that bad. It sounds difficult. It looks tricky, but it's not bad. Okay? Let's pause it. You guys work on it on your own. All right. You're back. We know that this is 4x plus 1, and this is 4x plus 1, and these are both 5. If this is the area that they're working with, how do you find the area of a rectangle? Length times width, or width or base times height, whatever you want to say. It's 4x plus 1 times 4x plus 1. Well, what did they do with this? They cut a chunk of it out. 5 by 5, it's 5 times 5, and you're going to subtract that from your trinomial that you're going to create up here. 4x times 4x is 16x squared. Outside, 4x times 1 is a positive 4x. inside is 1 times 4. That's a positive 4x. And 1 times 1 is 1. Combine these two. Okay, we combine these two, and it should make 16. Ooh, I'm not even on the book screen, am I? 16x to the second plus 8x plus 1. And we know that 5 times 5 is 25, but we're subtracting 25 from this. So our polynomial for this problem should end up being 16x squared plus 8x minus 24. That's the trinomial, the polynomial that will be created from these problems, or from this problem. You had to do the FOIL method to multiply the length times the width of the square. You had to do 5 times 5, which was the area of the square here, and then you had to subtract the trinomial minus the single 25. All right, last but not least, the patio one. Mrs. Tanaskew's patio problem. Now, Mrs. Tanaskew, we did this problem before. This is the one that we had to actually use information and then write the equation from what they gave us. They've done all the work for us. Back in the day, I think it was Alexa that came up with the idea of what we would have to do to be able to create the equation on this one. Now, they've taken away all the creating, all the real hard work. All they've given us is the two formulas here for these two problems. We know that we've... Oh, I'm not telling you yet. You got to pause that sucker. Pause it. Wait. Get it done. I'll see you in a bit. Welcome back. Now, it is a rectangular problem. You've got a rectangle and an interior rectangle, and they want you to find out the area of the walkway, this walkway here. Well, what you'd have to do to find this is find the area of the whole rectangle, find the area of the inner rectangle, and subtract the two of them, because this is actually a cutout of the larger rectangle. Well, how do you find the area of the big rectangle? It's 2x plus 1 by 9x minus 6. It's just multiplying binomials. 2x, oops, I'm off the page again. 2x plus 1 times the quantity of 9x minus 6. You're going to do the FOIL method, the lattice method, the distribution method. I don't care, whatever you want, to find out what this turns into. 9 times 2 is 18x squared. That's a negative 6x, or negative 12x. And a positive 9x, that's a negative 3x for the inside-outside. And last is negative 6. Okay, so we've got the area of the big rectangle is 18x squared minus 3x minus 6. Now the little rectangle on the inside of it is a x plus 3 times 4x plus 1. That's 5x squared. No, it's not. It's 4x squared. 4 times 1 is 4. 4x squared. Outside is a... Oh, yep, that was a 1. That is a 1x. That's a 12x. And that's 3. So it's a positive 13x and a positive 3. Now you have to subtract this. This is where you have to be careful. It's subtraction, but it's the whole quantity subtracted. Subtract 18 minus 4, that's 16x squared. Negative 3, this turns into a minus 13x. That's negative 26x. And this turns into a minus 3 minus 9. Okay, that's the tricky part about this, that these convert into their opposites, the negative versions of them. So take a look at it, see if you can see it. If you can't, I'll bring it a little bit closer. Okay, take a look. How'd you do? How'd you do with those 3 problems? Those are the 3 level 3 problems on the back of this test. All right, so hopefully you're doing well. Enjoy your weekend. Remember, today is Friday. You've got to turn in all your work today that you've done for this week. You guys have not been that good at turning your work in, so let's make sure you get it turned in and we'll be all good. I've given you a 10-minute video today. That means you've got 20 minutes to make sure you get the rest of your math done for the rest of the week. We're going to be taking a test on the polynomials next Monday and Tuesday. Okay, so let's be ready. I'll talk to you later. Have a good weekend.